Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 24 of Road to Greatness. And today I want to walk you through 3 staple meals that keep me full during this prep. And these are things that you could call a part of my meal plan, but they are very much staples within my diet. And let's trip straight into it, starting with yogurt and Wheat Bix. So this is my version of an overnight Wheat Bix or an overnight oats. And I mix things like almonds, high protein yogurt, and a little bit of protein powder into a container and call it a day. The beauty of something like this is I can create multiple variations to this meal by changing what nuts or whole grain or seeds I use to mix into the yogurt. There are sometimes I might use chia seeds. I've used flax seeds before. I've done cashews, pistachios, you name it. I've more than likely thrown it in there. And the same goes for, I've done oats. Oats and Wheat Bix are typically what stays in as cycles, and the protein powder is whatever flavor I'm running at the moment. A few weeks back, it was a white choc caramel something or other. That was quite nice. Nonetheless, these all have their own different flavors and textures, but not only that, make for a super nutrient-dense meal high in calcium, protein, fiber, and other vitamins and minerals. And you could add things like fruits in there. I find berries to be the best. I've added melon before. And so it's a matter of going, okay, I need some sort of protein. That's my yogurt and protein powder. Some sort of plant, which is typically the almonds or the nuts or the seeds. And I add some fiber through the use of Wheat Bix, which is fortified with fiber, and also wheat, so that helps, or oats, okay, so some sort of whole grain. And that's what makes up my overnight Wheat Bix or overnight oats. The second meal I want to run through today is chicken and veggies. So the next 2 meals, chicken and veg and my kangaroo and veg, are very similar, but starting out with our chicken and veg meal, this is the only meal that I prepare in advance in bulk. It takes me maybe an hour to do, and I get 4 meals, all of which involves cooking in an oven or in a pot with little mess or cleanup. I use frozen veggies here because they're convenient and also cheaper than buying individual fresh produce. I also go for either chicken breast or chicken tenders, as it's leaner, they're easily cooked in the oven. Pretty much whichever one's on special is what I run with. And it ticks the boxes very nicely. For fats here, I am a huge fan of avocado. High in fiber, tastes great, and provides a nutritious fat source to help me absorb the vitamin A and vitamin K that I'm getting from the veggies. I also pair this meal with a kiwi, and I am 100% a skin-on person. Comment down below, are you skin on or skin off when it comes to kiwis? I'd love to hear and watch the debate happen down below. But that wraps up my chicken and veg meal. So chicken breast or chicken tenders, frozen veggies, avocado, and a kiwi. Last but not least, meal number 3 is our kangaroo and veg. So I always like to have some form of red meat throughout the day. This might be either a steak, it might be kangaroo. Doesn't matter if it's beef or not really lamb. Typically, it's either beef, kangaroo, and on the very rare occasion, will it be pork or lamb? Because pork's technically a white meat, and lamb is a little bit fattier. So that's why I opt for the beef or the kangaroo. And so apart from that, the big difference between this meal and my chicken meal is down to the food choice rather than the meal structure itself. Okay, we still have a protein source being our red meat, our plant source, which is some fresh capsicums, we have mushrooms in there, frozen peas, because they're, again, super easy. And on occasion, I might add beetroot or spinach or a little bit of pumpkin. These are all fresh produce that I have. And then plus a fat source, I drizzle on some olive oil. And I also have a banana here instead of a kiwi. So you can see from that Our structure is very much the same, but what we use is different. And this is where I see people get stuck when they first try to eat better. You know, they're trying to nail all these things and get it perfect when most of our results when it comes to nutrition comes from doing the basic things really, really well. Okay? Consume a reasonable amount of protein at each meal, preferably from leaner sources. Prioritize and enjoy a variety of fruits and veggies. Enjoy a reasonable amount of whole grains such as, what was it, rice and breads and pastas and lentils, and starchy vegetables like pumpkin and potato. And minimize how much processed foods you eat. Okay? And don't worry about macros or meal timings just yet. All right? Start with these 4 things, and what you'll find is that you're probably going to start to feel a little bit better. Okay? Maybe that's having a bit more energy, or you going to the bathroom more consistently. Maybe you've got less tummy aches, or you're feeling less lethargic or sluggish. And that's great because it's reinforcing to us that eating in this way makes us feel good, better, or at least not bad, right? And so once we've got there, then we can start looking at things into total calories, into macros, into portion sizes and all that stuff. Okay, and so I do hope that this breakdown helped you understand nutrition a little better and what quote healthy eating can look like. I'd love to read what you all come up with in the comments below, and until then, take care. I'm sure we'll talk soon.